Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Culture and Cannabis podcast. I am one of your hosts, Fulltime Tony, and with the one and only JC Coates. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, bro.
Happy 2022. This is our first podcast of 2022. We missed last week.
We did miss last week.
Well, I don't know what the fuck happened, but we missed it. So It is what it is. Happens. But yeah, we're back. I know my dad was like, especially you all know, my dad's the number one listener.
Yes, number one listener
for our podcast.
Greg Lee.
Greg Lee, yeah, and he's probably watching right now. He's probably going nuts. He's gonna text me here in a second. And he saw me on. He's like, wait, you're not at the studio? I was like, no, I'm going to Boise. He's like, this is the first podcast you've missed in like years. You haven't done. It's like, this is what, 3 years, 2 years? Like almost mad at me, like a little disappointed. I was like, Dad, I'm sorry, I don't know. We just, beginning of the year, kind of slipped, mine and JC's mind.
And I think we were just talking about it on the episode before, how we've done 1,000 episodes this year.
Yeah.
And then boom,
we missed one. It's okay. But we're back on the saddle. We're back in the studio.
Back in the studio. It's the new year, dog. It's the new year. You look kind of like a new you. You have the new swag. You got your new iPad over there, and I see you keeping a list now. You're like, yeah. I do lists now. I mean, it's like, who are you, bro?
I'm just trying to be a better version of myself.
It's the new you.
Yeah, man.
That old you doesn't exist anymore.
It's somewhere inside me, but I'm pushing him. I'm just pushing him down. I can hear him. I can hear him yelling. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Just choke him.
Yeah, I'm choking him out every day.
I mean, It's a daily. I choke mine out too, bro.
You have to. Everyone has that voice inside of them. They're the version of them that wants to be average.
Yes.
Right? And so you got to push that shit away.
Yeah.
Every day, and I go to the gym and that voice gets silenter, and I write the list and that voice gets quieter, and I eat chicken and fucking broccoli and that voice gets quieter, and
And then the momentum happens, right?
Yeah, just time. So I started working out like pretty consistently since October or November, but I didn't really take the food. I didn't take food seriously, and that's the number one thing, right? Like you can work out and treat people in the face, but you don't eat correctly. So beginning of this year, I was like, yo, I want to do something, and then I heard about 75 Hard.
Okay.
And so I was like, fucking, let's send it on 75 Hard. Like I listened to the podcast, like I went on this trip to Idaho. The day I got on the plane, I listened to the podcast from Andy Frisella, and he was like, yeah, you're a fucking bitch. Fucking get out there and fucking make something of yourself.
Right.
I was like, yeah, you're right. I am a bitch. I got to go out there and make something of myself. So started Monday, fresh, got the support. Shout out to my girlfriend, Alex. She's been a huge help, helping me prep all those fucking meals. Me and Joy have had some discussions about making sure I stay on track while I'm in Oklahoma.
Yes.
But it's definitely been a grind, dude. this is day 4.
Day 4. So what is a 75 day? Just really quick.
75 Hard, you have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. You have to drink a gallon of water. You have to pick a diet and stick to it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people do like macros, which is what I'm doing, just sticking to my macros. And then
which is calories and protein, basically.
Yeah, calorie, protein. Just making sure I'm staying underneath a caloric deficit, and I'm hitting my protein and my carbs, my fats, right?
Got it.
And then no cheat meals. I haven't had like any nothing like no snacks or anything like that nature. I said drink a gallon a day, gallon of water a day, which I've already crushed, and read 10 pages in a day.
That's sick.
And you have to take a progress picture every day. You don't have to post it, but you just have it for yourself.
Dope. And what I love about it, it's not a fitness program.
It's literally not a fitness program at all. Because honestly, like he's not saying like you have to do these workouts. It's like no, just go work out twice a day.
Right.
And so for me, it's like I'm doing. I go to the gym every morning, and then either I wake up really early or I go at night. I go for like a walk/jog with my dog Duke, and those are both about 45 minutes long.
Yeah. No, I think that's great because the best workout is the one that you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the one that you can consistently do every time, right? And by the way, what you're working on is the secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the fucking secret sauce for everything, right? And people are like, oh, it's the secret to success, this and that. It's being the best version of yourself, right? So you can give better to to others. So you can bring more value, right?
Yeah.
And it starts with you.
100%.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah, it's like literally just all, it starts like you just focusing on yourself realistically, right? So many people are so focused on so many fucking other things, especially right now. Like there's so many other things to be potentially focused on. It's like worry about your fucking self.
Right.
And try to help yourself,
Right.
If you're fucking miserable, that's your problem.
Yeah. and it's most likely your fault too.
Yeah, and it's your fault.
You know, which if it hurts to hear that, you know, I'm sorry, but
that means it's very true.
That means it's true, and by the way, that you want it to be your fault.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because if it's not your fault and it's someone else's fault, then that even sucks even more.
That means you have no control. No control.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, fuck. I mean, there's definitely some things I want to do this year for Culture and Cannabis to make some things better. You know,
let's talk about it.
I think number one, let's just talk about the podcast. We definitely want to make the podcast better. And so I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we're definitely gonna brainstorm with Rick and Chuck and figure out how we can make this thing the best podcast in the country.
Right. And I think people look to our podcast, and we've been doing it for so long, right? And there's so many content creators in the cannabis community, and so it's a goal of ours, I think, to be a light, to be one of the platforms that people can look to get that good information and to emulate, right, when they want to do stuff too,
and I think you and me can both look each other in the face truthfully and say there was a time where we progressed the podcast majorly, and that was when we found Rick. And really, we're consistent on being on a weekly basis, doing every time, getting guests, but then kind of stagnated after we kind of got that hump. You know what I'm saying? Like we leveled up, and then we just haven't leveled up since.
Right.
And so, the only people we can blame is ourselves.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like the only thing we can do is get better. But we are getting better. Because we have a great guest today.
We do have a great guest.
We have a phenomenal guest. JC, I mean, you know this guest. I mean, you were talking to him this morning.
I talked to him. Well, he has a podcast.
Yes,
he's another podcaster. Yeah. Met him on Instagram. He sent me a message the other day. Let me see if I can. He really enjoyed this direct message. So let's see if I can read it really quick. But some people, as I've been working out, right, and on this kind of like health and wellness kick and trying to get better, I get new communities, right? New people are kind of like, I'm attracting new friends and colleagues and stuff.
White Christian males from South Salt Lake City who lift kettlebells.
They lift kettlebells. Yeah. Those are my people, right? He was like, "Yo, man, I love your post. I'm a physical transformation person myself. I've been hitting the gym every morning by 5 a.m. I love your content. Let's connect soon. Happy New Year." And I said, "Let's go." And I said, "Let's declare war on the old you every day at 5 a.m. all by yourself where everyone is still asleep." I live for that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you eat that shit up.
And that resonated with him. We had a few more exchanges in the direct message. I started to dive into his content. Really cool cat, right? It's the owner of the Hippy Speedball podcast is in the building. Bro, what's up? What's good, man?
Joe, you out there?
What's up, Joe.
Yeah, what's good, you guys? Thanks for me.
The longest introduction ever, right?
That was a really good intro. We're already one stair up level of the podcast this year, making it better.
You know what I mean? Just trying to add value there, brother. How's everything going? Thanks for being here.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. First off, I just want to say, bro, Tony, congratulations on your new journey, man. I'm super excited for you, bro.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. I'm doing good. It's a rainy day over here in Oregon, as usual, but we're fairly used to it, so it is what it is. But I'm really excited to be here on the Culture and Cannabis show, man.
Sick, man. Let's dive in, bro. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you got going on.
So I am Joe. I'm the host of the Hippy Speedball podcast. I used to say the best cannabis culture podcast in the world, but now I'm fucking with you guys. So it's like I say one of the best cannabis culture podcasts in the world. But it's basically the show that kind of captures the feeling of whenever you're chilling with a person. So a Hippy Speedball is coffee and cannabis. And it captures the feeling of whenever you're smoking a bowl or drinking a cup of coffee with like a really cool person. And then you end up learning a whole bunch of cool shit that you didn't even realize you want to know. Kind of like being that bridge between the cannabis community and the rest of the world, having on people from, cannabis, industry folks like yourself or musicians, business owners, actors, actresses, whoever, basically kind of being that bridge between everybody. So I'm really excited to be on here, man. This is a blast.
I love the Hippy Speedball because that's why I do it every morning.
I do.
I'm like addicted to the Hippy Speedball.
I did Hippy Speedball on the way over here, because I took a nap earlier.
Yeah.
So I needed to jumpstart the
JC's a little bit older than the rest of us, so naps are necessary nowadays.
Yes. Listen, I love your podcast because it's like a cannabis-driven podcast, right? But you don't, it's not like you make cannabis the main thing, right? Because there's more to. We love to smoke cannabis, but there's so many other things that we also enjoy, and you kind of highlight some of those stuff. Let's talk about some of your favorite guests that's been on your podcast. Which one was your favorite?
Man, I've had a lot. It's really hard to pick a favorite. I have a lot of connections with musicians because I'm a musician myself, so it's really easy for me to talk music with people all day long. And so I've been getting a lot of love from the Portland hip hop community. They've been really showing me a lot of love, and I don't know. I love just meeting all the different cool people that I've been able to be in contact with, like yourselves. Like it's just being able to be in contact with all these cool people via a podcast, being able to sit down and smoke and like just be able to pick people's brains and stuff. So it's really hard to pick a favorite. I definitely have a few moments that stick out, but as far as a favorite guest, it's really hard to pick. But definitely have a lot of musicians on the show for sure.
That's dope, man. What do you play?
I play guitar by heart. That's where I started. But I'm into every genre of music. I also play a little bit of bass. I play drums. I play harmonica. Now I'm dabbling in piano. I know how to play a ukulele now as well. So I love music all around. I also have a big passion for punk rock and hip hop. So
Nice.
Those are my two favorite genres.
Do you have a guitar handy? Can you rip off a quick riff, or is that pushing it a little bit?
Is that too insane?
I don't mean to put you on.
Grab.
I don't mean to put
Might
you
be
on.
out of tune. Second.
Okay.
Let me grab it real quick. 1 second.
Okay, he's gonna grab his guitar.
Is
bro.
this the first time this has ever happened before?
It could be. You know what I mean? It's just like. Listen, I mean, it's
getting crazy on it.
You never know what's gonna happen.
On the Culture Cannabis podcast, baby. Let's
Joe
go.
went to go grab his guitar.
Oh,
there he is. Okay.
There he is.
Might be a little out of tune. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it in tune real quick.
All right, let's.
We're gonna tune this bad boy.
This is an old. These are some old ass strings, my friend.
I mean,
okay,
it sounds good from over here.
Okay, cool. All right, sounds good. Let me think. I don't know what should I play. I don't even know what to play
whatever,
right now.
dude. What's your whatever you're the best at playing. Favorite song.
We're on a cannabis show. We're on a cannabis show. Let's do a little Sublime. How about that?
Perfect.
There we go.
There we go.
When are you guys gonna sing?
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
Let's go. JC is also a singer in his spare time.
Animal. Something like that.
She's found. Well, Papa Captain
Pancho's ass.
Dude, bravo.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Thank you for letting me put you on the
we
spot
got a sound
there.
machine. Hold on. Where the fuck the claps at? Shit, it's upside down.
Yes.
Nice little golf clap.
Very,
Nice little
very
golf
nice.
clap.
Very nice.
Phenomenal, man. Well, so musician.
Yes.
I also see that you're wearing a hockey jersey. Is that the Gold Knights? Oh, did we lose? Penguins. Penguins. But I think we lost audio.
We lost your audio. You got an audio button there that you could hit really quick.
Rick?
I messed everything up with the guitar, Tony. Do you see how
you are?
That's like an unintended consequence, right?
Trying to level it up. Take a step back real quickly. It happens.
It does happen.
It happens.
I don't know, man.
He was rocking a NHL jersey.
And
a hockey jersey.
A hockey jersey. Are you a hockey fan now?
I mean, I've been to a game. I don't know if I consider it, but I mean, obviously, I'm going to root for the Vegas Golden Knights because I've never been a fan of hockey. And then I was born and raised in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Back?
Did we get it?
No. Is it us, Rick?
No, oh, we lost you. Oh man.
Tell him to sign out and sign back on.
Sign out and sign back in.
He'll get back on us. He'll get back on us.
I'll send him a quick message.
Get him. Let him know.
Oh, Shine Papers just sent me a direct message.
Yeah, he's signing off.
Signing off. I mean, I guess that's just life, dude. I mean, that's how it kind of goes, man. You try to take some levels up.
You know, yeah.
And you're gonna get some pushback.
You know,
I mean, I've said it today. I said, whatever we do next, it's gonna suck. You know what I'm saying? Like
in the beginning.
In the beginning, everything sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing's fun when you first start anything, dude. Like, yeah, 'cause it's a learning curve.
But I think a big part of that, what you're talking about, is training your mind to like the sucky part.
Yeah.
Because you've been on the other side of the process so many times.
Or,
you know what's on the other side.
Or just be able to push through it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't have to enjoy it. Just like, all right, after I get done with this, that's when the good shit happens.
Yeah.
So maybe you start enjoying that process.
Right. You know what I mean? Because
Right. There's going to be parts of that process that you fucking hate, like
like squats.
not a fan of squats. Hate squats.
But yeah.
Hate squats, and I hate hip thrusts.
I don't do the hip thrust. I feel like
They're supposed to do it.
Can we hear you now, boss?
Can you hear me now?
Oh yes, we're back, baby. We're back.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
All right.
we got a podcaster on the show, man. You know what I mean? He could figure this stuff out.
It was quick. That was a quick turnaround.
For
too.
some guests, that might have been it for them.
That would have been it.
Not
That
the
would have
case.
been it.
Not the case for you.
Nah, we back.
No, we
Let's
look
talk-
around. We do not.
Yes. Let's talk about Oregon. You want to talk about Oregon?
I want to talk about Oregon weed.
What would you like to know about that?
I just want to know about the general industry out there. Like, what is the vibe, right? Like, so just like to give you some examples, like we're out here in Nevada and then also out in Oklahoma, and the vibes are completely different. Oklahoma is more comparable to California than Nevada ever will be in the sense of the culture that they're trying to build out there compared to Nevada's, where Nevada's a little bit more corporate, a little more structured. People aren't going to sessions, but they're going to community charity events or luncheons or things of that nature. Whereas someone in Oklahoma, if they want to connect with the community, you'll see all the owners of all these companies at a sesh smoking weed with the consumer, right?
Yeah.
Which you'll never see that happen in Nevada. So, like, what is the vibe in Oregon?
I would say probably like I don't know, because like Oregon's just been so down with weed for so long. Like whenever we legalized, it was pretty much just kind of like been there, done that with a lot of us. There's definitely a bit of a corporate element that's starting to take over, because we have certain dispensary chains that are basically getting bought up by one company. And then this is kind of happening with a few different companies that are buying up dispensary chains and basically monopolizing. And it's kind of a slippery slope in my eyes, if you ask me. But like Oregon was the very first state in the United States to decriminalize cannabis, and it was all the way back in the 70s. So I mean, Oregon, it's like we've always just kind of been really, really cool with weed. And as far as the culture in itself, yeah, there's charity stuff, there's lots of community stuff that goes on, lots of tree replants, because out here we have a lot of wildfires, and so like there's different efforts to go replant trees and stuff. Definitely a lot of environmental efforts, because it's just Oregon, that's what we do. And but as far as the culture goes, yeah, I mean it's very holistic. I mean, that's kind of the way I could say it. It's really hard to put a certain label on it. It's very, very holistic.
So let's dive in a little bit. So can you smoke weed anywhere, or can you just smoke it in your house?
It's supposed to be just in your house, but also there's smoke lounges that are popping up. Like I've done a couple episodes at the Khalifa Social Lounge that's here in Oregon City, the one I was telling you about.
Nice.
And that's a really cool place. They have certain like areas like that, but yeah, it's supposed to be in your place. Honestly, right now though, I mean, Oregon has that new law that they passed wherever you can have a certain amount of any drug on you and the cops aren't going to do anything. So the last of their worries is really people smoking weed outside. So you can't do it, but nobody will really stop you.
That's wild, man. Just roll up. You just got a full variety on you.
That's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah.
So I mean, I think it's interesting that you guys have lounges, though. I think it's super interesting.
So let's talk about that. Why is it okay to smoke in a lounge? Like, is there a different law that says you're supposed to only smoke in your house, but then you can also smoke in a lounge, or do they just open lounges and it's just so lax nobody cares?
So all the cannabis stuff in Oregon is run through the Oregon Liquor Control Commission or the OLCC. They're the ones that run everything as far as cannabis goes in Oregon, which makes no sense because it's the liquor people in charge of weed. None of us get it, but they're the ones that are in charge of it.
Interesting.
And so they have a really, really tight regulation on things. They kind of always have. Like the culture itself is very cool, but the OLCC, they're just, I don't know. They have really weird rules. They're changing them all the flipping time. Like right now, they just changed it to where it used to be you could only buy 1 ounce at the dispensary, but now you can actually buy 2 ounces. And they also increased the potency of our edibles now. It used to be only 50 milligrams per package. Now it's 100 milligrams. But I think another reason why they're doing that is because we're just like sitting on so much damn weed. But the social lounges and stuff, they're also connected to like through the OLCC, and so there's certain rules like you can't actually go to the social lounge and then go to the dispensary. So you have to go to the dispo before you go to the social lounge, and so like they have different rules around that sort of stuff. It's just the OLCC is just they're a motherfucker, man. They're hard to deal with.
Are the lounges connected only to dispensaries, or are there standalone lounges?
They're standalone ones. Yeah, the one I go is connected to the dispensary. It's basically like it's kind of like not directly connected, but it's like the dispo's right here, and then like around the parking lot, basically, and then the other one's like right here, kind of like right behind it. And it's kind of like it's a Khalifa dispensary, and then the Khalifa social club.
And so just the process is you go to the dispensary, and you have to tell them that you're going to take the weed to their lounge, or how does that process work of checking in the product that you bought from the dispensary to the cannabis lounge?
You don't have to go to that dispensary. You can bring in any cannabis product you want. Yeah, you just can't use tobacco. So if you want to have like a good old fashioned Dutch style blunt wrap or something like that, you can't use that. They have certain rules there. There's no alcohol. There's no tobacco. It's just cannabis, But they also have like pool tables and shit like that. But you can take any weed you want. You don't have to go to the dispensary next door. It just happens to be connected to it, so it's a little bit easier.
Do you pay to get in?
Yeah, you do. So it's a yearly like a yearly membership, and then it's $5 each time you come in.
And how much is that yearly? If you don't mind me asking. Sorry.
$25 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
So cheap. Yeah.
That's relatively really cheap.
Yeah.
That's a cool. Yeah, just because Nevada, and the only reason why we ask because Nevada right now is in the process of doing the regulations for the cannabis lounges. And it's interesting to see how it's going to go down here just because we are such a massive tourism city and the rules that they try to make for it. So it should be interesting. Are there lounges that are like connected to restaurants out there or like restaurant style lounges?
Not that I'm aware of. I think they have a cafe somewhere. I think there's a cannabis cafe here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, but not that I'm aware of.
Copy.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Got it. Super interesting. And that's what's so crazy, right? It's like being able to talk to Joe and understand the different markets, like the differences in markets. And like it's important because when we go to a national legalization, we got to be like, "Yo, this sucked here, but it really worked here." So, there's that ebb and flow because
it tells a story, right, of what it could be, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Wasn't there a big crash in the market, or was that more in Washington? A big crash in the cannabis market to where it was a race to bottom everywhere, and there was billboards with like $5 grams.
I think like $5 eighths.
Basically, yeah, you're off because like it was. So what happened was whenever we first legalized rec, the OLCC allowed a shitload of producers. I mean, like a lot of different people. And so what ended up happening is that you have all these different growers, all these different producers, all these different people that are growing weed all at the same time. And we were just sitting on a lot. And so that's why it's so cheap up here is because we just have so much of production. There was a stat that came out a while back, and it was like that if Oregon at that moment would have stopped production completely, like if they would have been like, nope, nobody's growing, nobody's producing anything, it would have taken like 2.5 years to get through it all.
Jesus.
That's nuts, man.
That is crazy.
And so that destroyed the market, right? I mean, for a lot of people went out of business and no longer do business there.
Yeah.
But there's been a resurgence, right? Can you speak to why you think maybe that has happened besides the obvious?
I think that it was a lot of these like smaller companies that whenever they were first starting, they just kind of like took on more than they could handle, like a lot of businesses do sometimes. And I think that a lot of them just ended up either getting bought out by these companies like I was telling you about, or they just kind of went out of business and maybe somebody else opened shop. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just a lot of the, a lot of people just kind of, weeded themselves out, no pun intended. Yeah. Just kind of like,
capitalism did its thing, right? So basically, a bunch of people just ended up going out of business. A bunch of people going out of business, and the market kind of auto corrected itself a little bit. That's interesting. So now like all those thousands of producers, what does that look like today? How many producers? Like, is there hundreds, or is there thousands, or is there way less than there used to be? What's it look like today?
There's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to put a number on it, but there's a lot, because there was another stat that came out that said that Oregon actually had more dispensaries than we did Starbucks.
Yeah, Oklahoma, same thing. Yeah,
it's pretty much the same thing in Oklahoma. So which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
but it's not rec in Oklahoma. It's only medical.
And it's I don't know, as far as how many producers there are, there's still a lot of farms, there's still a lot of people, and there's still also a lot of like like smaller operations too, like ones that just kind of only supply to maybe one or two dispos or something like that. So there's still a few of those out there. There's still a little bit of that kind of like mom and pop culture, but it's definitely dying.
Are you buying from dispensaries out there personally?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then how much is an eighth of weed? How much is a quarter bag?
I usually pay anywhere between $15 for an eighth, and maybe like anywhere between 25 and 50 for a quarter. It really could depend.
This is crazy, man.
Really cheap.
Yeah.
How much is it out there?
You could pay $50 for an eighth real quick.
It's the taxes that adds on. So like you could find the $25 eighth, but then with taxes, you're still looking at like $30 to $32-ish, right? So on average, and so the average price is between $35 and $40 for an eighth.
But it's real easy to fuck around and walk out of the store with a $50 eighth on accident.
Yeah.
So
right. And my dispo I go to, they actually give me a 10% discount because I'm basically like Norm from Cheers when I walk in there. Because like when I walk in, they're like, "Hey, Joe!" Like they're big supporters of the podcast and stuff. So that's a really good perk, actually.
Yeah. What's your home dispensary? Is that the Khalifa one?
Yeah, Khalifa. Yeah, definitely Khalifa here in Oregon City. Gnome Grown dispensary here in Oregon City, and then sometimes I also go to Cannabis Nation as well.
Shouts out to all of those dissos, man.
Nice.
Taking care of their communities.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, Joe, man, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, brother. Like, we definitely need to get you back on again we won't have any more difficulties, and we'll get dive into more of your story. But where can everyone find you? Where can they find the podcast? Plug yourself.
Okay, so yeah, you can find the podcast on anywhere you can find podcasts, and it's the Hippy Speedball Podcast, HIPPY, and that's all one word at Instagram, so at Hippy Speedball Podcast, and then if you just Google it, you'll find it. And yeah, thanks for having me on, dude. This was a lot of fucking fun. Tony, we're gonna talk and then get you on the show. I saw you just started following the show. I appreciate that, bud.
Of course.
So let's get in contact, and we'll freaking get you on the Hippy Speedball. And thanks again for having me. And I can't wait to meet you guys when I come to Vegas in May.
Yes,
definitely, brother. Yeah, we'll definitely have to smoke a couple or a lot.
He wants to get a workout in. We can
also get a workout in.
We should all three get a workout in too.
Sounds great.
Oh, that's happening. That is definitely happening for sure. Because I'm also an early morning workout person myself. So
nice.
we're gonna earn that sunrise, fellas. That's what we're gonna do.
Let's go
every day, man.
Let's go.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much, brother. We'll talk with you soon.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Peace.
Boom. That dude was made for podcasting.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Right?
Like, I could just feel the energy through it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And, bro, the way that he just snapped back right after the like you said, that would have wrecked a lot of people.
Yes.
The audit. That would have been like, oh, fuck it, I'm done. And that's what so many people do with just everything in their life, right?
Everything.
So it's just like interesting to think that they don't, man.
Yeah.
But JC, what got some updates? What we got going on?
We got some updates, man. I mean, it's a new year. You want to talk? You want to talk about each category of our business?
All right, let's talk products first.
Okay.
And then let's talk events.
Okay.
Talk media. So
Products, man. For 2 years, we've been really limited with our products, right? Our supply chain's been kind of limited. We've been doing limited drops, not a lot of flavors, right? Because it's a tight market, right? And it's taken a lot of time to get some traction in this state and develop more relationships with different growers and create more opportunities, which we have done this year. So our flower program is going to go through the roof, right? It's not going to be 91 chem every single day.
Yeah,
which
100%.
the 91 chem has been amazing, and we're still might have it for a little bit longer, but we're going to have new exotics. We're going to drop Culture and Cannabis exotics in jars coming in just a couple of weeks. It's going to be a strawberry banana flavor. It's going to be dope, right? It's going to be the top shelf Culture and Cannabis weed, and it's going to be dope. The first strain, like I said, strawberry banana. It's going to be dope. You made a sticker for it, dog.
I did.
You made a sticker for it, and it's gonna be sick. So
I'm really excited.
the flower program for Culture and Cannabis, dude, and that's just the beginning. It's just we're gonna have all kinds of different flavors, more full flower, more collabs with different players here in Nevada. So hang on for the Culture and Cannabis flower. What's next? What else we got?
Infused pre-rolls.
Infused pre-rolls, right? So we just dropped the 24 karat gold ones, right? It's a beautiful product. The response has been incredible. They're super fun to smoke, people. It's great. If you haven't got one, go out and get one. We're going to keep those in play this year. We might make a couple tweaks to them, right? Make them a little bit better, just like anything else. The hustler's in process too. So maybe look for some tweaks later in the year. We're also, this year, I'm really excited to offer, our team is going to offer the Culture and Cannabis Classic infused pre-rolls. These are going to be a very a beautifully smoked infused pre-roll, right? Nothing soggy, nothing easy to smoke. It's going to hit really hard. It's going to be easy to purchase. And
really affordable.
Really affordable, right? This is going to be really high quality banger infused pre-rolls on the low, right? It's going to be the Culture and Cannabis Classic infused pre-roll. We'll share with you kind of the formulation of what goes into that in the coming weeks. So check out for that. And then we have some more creative. Pre-rolls coming out. I guess we can talk about it when it actually drops.
Yeah, it's looking like April though, just timeline wise. So hopefully maybe for our reno event, which we'll talk about later. Also, but might be coming out a little bit sooner, is Vapes.
Is the Vapes also. Yeah. So you want to talk about the Vapes really quick?
Yeah, so dude, shout out to my guy Bo, fucking
what's good?
Smoky McSauce.
Smoky McSauce.
Dude, the guy's a legend. So, me and JC have had the dream of always wanting a vape. And don't get me wrong, the Nevada vape market is not easy by any means, but we believe that if we can find the right people and the right hardware with the right image, that we can create our segment in the market. And so we teamed up with Bo, and so we've been doing R&D on oil, and dude, that guy makes killer oil, dude. Super impressed. I mean, flavors that I really haven't had here in Nevada when it comes to high terpene, full spectrum, just terpene rich oils, right? You can taste it in it. So
and it speaks on that oil, right? I think a lot of the nuances, right, of the Vegas market or the Nevada market, right? It's being just strictly recreational. Not a lot of the consumers are super educated on the oil, right?
Yeah, just the fact that a lot of it is and
it's not. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. Like there's so many different types of ways that you can get a different vape, and there's so many things that are taken in play that we just want to make sure that we can produce a high quality vape that anyone can smoke.
Right. That's not just a straight distillate pen, right? It's just a high terpene rich, full spectrum oil. That tastes like weed, right? Can we get some oil that tastes like weed?
Yeah, definitely tastes like weed. And we're going to have some really cool strains with that. So I'm really excited to drop those. Look first for a cart, and then we'll probably be doing a disposable here shortly after. Some really unique disposables. Really excited about that.
Lastly, one more. We got a big, our partner and co-founder Leilani Joy, right, is going to be the face of
shit! Yes, I forgot.
Yes.
Fuck. So we're dropping a whole CBD line. We're starting with one product.
Right.
Product that we use a lot and really really well. It's a CBD roll-on.
Yeah.
The brand's gonna be called Joy Fuel. JOYFUEL. And yeah, man, we're super excited about that. It's gonna be a whole new segment of our company and kind of how we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a little bit different from the culture and cannabis side, right? It's gonna be more about health, wellness, and I'm really excited about bringing those products to market. The roll-on's gonna be the first of them, but look out for like tinctures and CBD pre-rolls, bath bombs, stuff of that nature. Maybe some protein, maybe some, some CBD pills. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Right. And that's a lot of products, dog. That's a lot of products. It's going from like legit, like just 1 or 2 products to like
15, 20.
Like 15 to 20 in the first quarter. So it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. What else? What's the other section? What do we got? Media. What's our media look like this year?
Media, dude. We're fucking. Listen, I'm excited. I'm just going to announce we signed our first podcast.
Let's go.
For the Culture Cannabis team. I'm really excited about it. It's a person that I've been friends with for the past almost 4 or 5 years now. You've been able to hang out with him for about the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
And you get to see him involved. Joe fucking Comedy.
Joe Comedy
up in Reno,
The
Nevada,
world
man.
needs to know Joe Comedy.
Everyone needs to know about Joe Comedy, man. And so I've been fortunate enough, and JC and Chuck and Joy everyone's got to meet them, and I've been helping them do these comedy shows up in Reno, and me and Chuck have been talking about it, and how fucking funny he is, and so it kind of we always have to talk about getting him a podcast, and we always like, what, why not now? Why not make it happen? So first podcast can be this upcoming month.
Nice.
I'm really excited about that. We'll be producing that guy. And then when we go to Oklahoma, we're gonna got some stuff going out there. I want to wait to announce that. Make sure that thing. But we're definitely gonna be doing a bunch of media stuff. I mean, look out for us to maybe have a couple more podcasts underneath the Culture and Cannabis umbrella, not just always seeing me and this guy's face, right? We want to add some other faces to the Culture and Cannabis brand, and let people, explode, right? We want to help people. We want to rise all the good. What is it? The milk to the top. What is it? Yeah. How's that work?
The cream.
I want to rise the cream to the top, baby.
Cream rises to the top.
And so we're gonna take some risks this year when it comes to media. We're gonna do some fun stuff. I'm really excited about that. Right. And then lastly.
Events, baby.
Events, dude.
Events, man. Dude, they crept back into our life and have taken back over.
So quickly, too. It was just like...
I hope you enjoyed your break from that.
whatever's happening with COVID, Omicron, the Delta, whatever, doesn't matter. We're throwing events, baby.
We are throwing events. We're doing them proper, and we're doing them responsibly. And we're adding to it. And, dude, they're coming back bigger and better than they've ever been.
So dude, going to be super exciting. We're going to be bringing... a new event concept, kind of a fusion of the traditional Culture and Cannabis event and the cannabis convention, something like that I threw up in Reno, and we were bringing that together, and that's what we calling Culture and Cannabis Connects. It's going to be a full day event starting at 10 o'clock, going all the way until 1 o'clock at night. And this is an event that's going to be more of like a convention style event during the day, having brands, B2B, B2C, brands, companies, extraction equipment, t-shirt companies, you name it, right? We want to create a space where people can come connect during the day, help build business relationship, also have a speaker platform. JC's dream has always been having a speaker platform, right? You remember those days at Inspire, bro?
Yes.
Inspire, bro. We get on stage, JCB fucking trash, just ripping it. I'd be nervous as shit, and I have no clue what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, super excited about that. And then at night, dude, we'll transition into a Culture and Cannabis event, a proper Culture and Cannabis event, right? With a headliner, local acts, a variety show of sorts, some few key sponsors. And yeah, it's just going to be a good vibe. So that's going to be up in Reno. Stay tuned for more details on that. We'll have some sponsorship, vendor opportunities that be coming with that. And then we'll probably be throwing some stuff in Oklahoma as well.
100%.
So stay tuned for all that. But first, what do we got going on, JC?
Dude, February 3rd, Paul Wall, the People's Champ, is coming back to Vegas. That's right. We brought him 2 years ago to launch our products here in Nevada. We're bringing him back, right, to put a stamp on it, right? Champs Week, February 3rd, Sapphire's Gentlemen's Club. He's coming to town. It's going to be a stacked lineup. We have Omni Models is going to come do a fashion show. We have the Ladies Room is going to come do a full dance hip hop show. It's going to be dope. We have Presto One. We have DJ Light Bright on the bill, dog. We have a full lineup from local cats. Hydro is on the bill. It's going to be a sick sick show. You got to make sure to come down and check it out.
It's gonna be super dope. And if you came to the one in what was it?
December,
November, October.
October.
You came with the one in October
over MJ Biz.
Over MJ Biz. You knew how cool that one was. We're gonna be running it back again, but a little bit better. So come check it out, man. Come do it. But
that's it, man.
That's it.
Let's go do some work.
Until next week. So I'll see you guys next week.
Yes, you will.
Peace.
Peace.